Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, second week of August, and it's a stunning, beautiful day. It's really pleasant out, not too hot, maybe in the 70s, and it's dry, sunny. It's just so beautiful. And I already milked the cows this morning. I did a little bit of harvesting, and I thought I would bring the camera along and take a little field tour and just show you how what everything looks like at this time of the year, because things change so rapidly, at this time of the year. From one week to another, I feel like there's so much growth or some kind of change. So just showing you around. And before I get to the field, I just wanted to say, kind of following what I was talking about in some of my other videos about, I guess, mental health and gardening or farming. Just the fact of being outside every day, which tending to plants will make you do. I think that is so important, to our physical and mental health. Just being forced to be outside, even if it's for half an hour or for 5 minutes or whatever. It just, I'm not sure exactly what it is that it gives you. Obviously just a physical contact with the earth and living plants, living things. But I just feel like that's so important. So I really encourage you, wherever you live, even if you live in an apartment building in a big city or whatever the situation is, just, get some potted plants or just grow something. It's so nurturing doing that. You're growing something, you're really growing yourself, So anyway, that's it. I'm done with that little talk. And now I'll show you what's going on here in the field. Things are crazy, out of control, because it's August, and that's what things get like at this time of the year. So this was my garlic patch, which the garlic is all gone. We harvested it all and hung it in the barn. And now we gotta manage the weeds left behind. So you can see here, this whole bed, it's clovers and a whole bunch of weeds. So I need to cover it with landscape fabric, like we cover these 3 beds right here, to keep down the weeds, kill the weeds, and basically prep the soil for whatever we're gonna put here next, which I think it could be some like radishes, turnips, arugula, those kind of crops that grow really quick in the fall and do well in the fall. Or we may just put a cover crop to keep the soil healthy over the winter, or just simply leave it covered over the winter. Basically, you don't want to leave the soil uncovered over the winter. Not good for the soil. So, all right, so that's what's going on with this piece. You can see the sunflowers over here. I can't wait till they flower. I think they're gonna look really beautiful, but they're certainly tall, like 6 feet tall, some of them. All right, so here we got my carrots on the left, coming along, almost ready to harvest. These brassicas right here, cabbages. I got some cabbages under the tunnel, protecting them from insects. And what else? Broccoli. And here are lettuces that were done. As you can see, they're bolting. They're going to seed. So definitely done harvesting these guys, and now gotta take care of this bed. Like I said with the garlic, do something with it, cover crop it, or plant another crop, or just cover it. All right, the corn right here is, let's see, taller than I am, so about, taller than 5 feet 4, that's for sure. And it's coming along. The ears are nice. Let's see. There we go. Ears are looking nice. So this is just for us, sweet corn. All right, let me walk down here, see what's going on. So definitely these cabbages under the cloth cover, let me show you. They're calling for help because look at all the weeds. So I gotta take care of those weeds. I'm gonna come in with the hoe, I think later today. This is a good day to do it. It's nice and dry. I'm gonna come in and hoe them and help them out with those weeds. Yep. All right, so let's go on the other side of the corn where I have my winter squashes, which actually are taking over the corn as well. You can see they're coming right through the corn, and they're doing really well. Here's a little squash. This is a buttercup squash, but they're also having some significant problems this year, which I'll show you. So these plants so far look really good. Okay, now that we're here, let me talk about this. My okra. I love okra, like I was saying earlier, and I was hoping I could show you an open flower. Let me see if there's one. Nope, they're all closed right now, but here are some little okras coming along, so that's really exciting. I'm gonna cook these guys, and oh, here's one that I can actually harvest today. They grow super fast. My first okra. There we go. So I'm gonna harvest this and wait until probably just a few days until I have enough to make a nice curry with it. Can't wait for that. All right, so here I got the parsley. It's looking really good. I got quite a few orders for parsley this week, so I'm going to be harvesting this tomorrow. And my second planting of zucchini, which I've been already harvesting, is doing well, very well. I just harvested these guys, so you can only see a few tiny ones left. Here's another one. Lots of flowers. So yeah, these guys have been doing really well, these zucchini. And that right there is my second planting of cucumbers, which I'm still harvesting from my first planting actually, but these guys I think will be harvestable probably next week. And this corn right here is my grain corn. So this is corn that we grow, and we don't eat it fresh. We let it dry, and then we grind it into corn flour, and we make all kind of stuff with it. I make polenta during the winter or anytime really, and we just use like cornmeal, you know, use it in baking and stuff like that. All right, so these guys, this ocean of squash right here that you can see is doing, some plants are doing really well and some are having significant problems. Like you can see this wilting here, these leaves. So apparently there's a new disease that people, other farmers, and here too, here's a nice squash. So there's this new disease that we're seeing this year, which is transmitted by squash bugs, which maybe I'll find one and I'll show you what they look like. But basically the squash bugs, there are always squash bugs on the plants, because if you don't spray especially, but so the bugs are transmitting this, I'm not sure if it's a virus or, but whatever it is, they're transmitting the disease that makes the whole plant wilt, and all the fruit aborts all the fruit too. So it's pretty bad, but I don't see that it's affecting the summer squashes or the zucchini to any significant effect. Doesn't seem to be affecting the cucumbers. And for the winter squash, let me show you right here. So see that patch over there that's dead? Those guys were obviously very severely affected. So that's too bad. But that patch over there, that's butternut. They seem to be doing fine. And all this right here, watermelons and cantaloupes and honeydew, they're totally fine too. So here we go. Oh my goodness. Whew. Look at all these. Cantaloupe. I'm super excited. These guys are so delicious. See some more in there? Let me see if I can get in here. See those two? Yeah, so they're doing really, really well. I'm very excited with these guys. Let's see if I can find some. Whoa, look at this guy here. Watermelon coming along. Beauty. And let me show you some of the honeydew. Let me see if I can find some. It's a jungle. Beautiful. The nature is very, very prolific at this time of the year in many ways. Let me see if I can find a honeydew. I don't want to damage the leaf, so I'm not gonna push it. But maybe I can. Okay. So there's one. Very small. I'm actually surprised at how small it is compared to the other ones, compared to the cantaloupes. And so it's my first year growing honeydew, and I guess they're slower than the other ones. But the plants look good, so I guess, you know, just have to give them more time. Oh, here's one that's bigger. See that one over there? Yeah. All right. So this is this part of the field. Let me see if I can show you some butternut in this insanity of leaves over here. Let's see. Here we go. Little butternut coming along. So hopefully these guys will be able to hang in there and not succumb to that that virus or whatever that disease is that the squash bugs carry. All right, now here, very embarrassing. Look at all the weeds. Got to do something about this. But these are my lettuces, which as you can see I covered because there's a woodchuck that's been eating them. And I think the woodchuck lives somewhere in this jungle over here. We have so many woodchucks this year. And they're so cute, you know, and I really can't stand to kill them, but they do so much damage and they multiply quick and a lot. So sometimes we try trapping them, you know, to have a hard trap. But then what do you do with them? Then you bring them, you know, they're going to damage somebody else's crops or garden or flowers. But anyway, we did that. But after a certain point, that just doesn't make sense anymore because right now we have so many. I think we have at least 5 around that we know of. And so, you know, my husband would go out with the gun and shoot them, which is always really hard. But I guess it's just something to accept, you know. Knowing that this is how we have to grow food. There's always some kind of killing involved in growing food, you know. If you think you're vegan, and you know, you have to think about that because I think at some point you need to accept that even if you're a vegan and you don't eat any animal product, there's still some point down the line in food production there's some kind of killing of insects or animals, some kind of pest, you know, that just don't integrate well with the garden. So anyway, here we are in the greenhouse. So there have been some changes. Yesterday I spent quite a bit of time prepping this bed, it was actually just covered with this landscape black tarp right here. It was covered to kill the weeds, and then I removed the tarp and I prepped it and I planted carrots. So these will be our winter carrots right here, this bed. And then this bed right here is cucumbers. My first planting of cucumbers, basically pretty much done. You know, I mean, there's still a few cucumbers here and there, but pretty much done. Let me just show you the eggplants. They're doing really well. I've been eating roasted eggplants. Everybody, my kids love them so much. It's so simple. Just slice them up thin and into, you know, round circles, and bake them at like 350. And we eat them with tomatoes and basil, a little bit of cheese if you want. They're just outstanding. So here's let's see if I can get this beautiful eggplant right here. See that? And oh, I know there's a biggie right here. Been waiting for this one. Hey friend, there she is. So yeah, the eggplants are doing well. You can see they have some damage, flea beetle damage, these holes, but they seem to outgrow it and hold their own basically. So tomatoes, it's just a, you know, never-ending task right now to just keep up with their growth and keep tying them. I keep tying them, they keep growing, they keep, you know, wanting to fall. But anyway, I do my best. I come out here, I tie them again, give them support. They're producing like crazy right now, so that's great. Let's see what else. All right, here are the peppers. They're definitely coming along. You see some nice big peppers on the plants. Here we go. Really nice peppers. See that? And right there, my first planting of zucchini. Still hanging in there, but pretty much done. I think I'm leaving these plants right now. I'm going to stop harvesting, I think, after today. And then I'm going to let the zucchini get humongous and feed them to the cows because they like them. So I always try to get, you know, the most out of the plants. Feed us, feed the people who come here, feed the cows, you know, feed everybody. And these peppers are just outstanding. These are Carmen peppers. They're Italian, sweet Italian peppers. They're really great. They're so sweet when they turn red. And so I let them turn red on the plant. I don't harvest them green. They're really good green too, but they're much better red. So here, look at this plant. Very sad looking. The leaves have been eaten by tomato hornworm, which is another big problem at this time of the year. Tomato hornworm eats the leaves of tomatoes mostly, but also will go on peppers and eggplants. And they're so huge, or they can get so huge quickly, that if you don't keep up with them, your plants could easily be defoliated in a few days. So you got to come out here and check for them and kill them somehow. We feed them to the ducks. The ducks love them. But they're very hard to find, so you got to have like a trained eye to find them. If I spot one right now, I'll show it to you, but they're pretty monstrous looking actually. I'm not disgusted by bugs or anything like that. In general, I have no problem squishing them with my bare hands, but tomato hornworms are different because they're just you know, they can be the size of my thumb, long and thick, and and they're pretty nasty. They make this clicking sound and they can bite, but you know, I mean, I say they're nasty, but they just they are who they are and they do what they're meant to do. So that's all right. I don't see one right now, but I'll maybe I'll bring out the camera when I do and show you. All right, and finally, let's go over here, this part of the field. So you can see last time I was here, I was showing you that I was going to plant these forage radishes for the cows. And here they are. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think I planted them. And they obviously germinated. They're looking really well. So this is going to be great fodder for the cows for during the winter. Really, really happy with the celery. As you can see, it's looking excellent. Really happy with it. First year that the celery is looking so good. The potatoes are definitely browning and starting to look sad. I think they're suffering from leaf hopper, which we get every year. But the good news is that the plants are still alive and the potatoes are actually pretty good size. I dug some up and I'm quite happy. Even if we had to dig them up right now, I would say they're decent size, and we'll probably get, you know, another couple of weeks before we have to dig them up, so they'll get to grow more. So I think it's going to be a good crop overall. Let's see what's here. These onions are very embarrassing right now because look at the weeds. I can't keep up with them. But we'll be pulling the onions soon. I think maybe next week. I'm just waiting for their tops to brown and fall over. But the onions themselves are looking great. Look at these. And they taste great. I've been using them. I love onions. I'm gonna be using them for sure in that curry I'm making with the okra. I'm the only one in the family that likes it. But you know what? I treat myself. I make it. And let's see what's here. Beans. The beans, oh gosh, I planted way too many. And now I have to harvest them. And beans are probably my least thing to harvest. Least favorite thing to harvest because they're pretty killer on the back. So I'm not sure if I'm hoping that they'll keep doing well or if I should hope that they die soon. I don't know. But I mean, people love them. It's great, but the harvesting is not fun. So yeah, look at these onions in here. Whew. Let me see. Can you see that? It's hard to tell with the camera because it's so bright right now outside. All right, so let me go this way. Try to step on, and I'm gonna walk back to the house along the tall spindle apple here. So look at these. Look at the fruit load on the apple trees. They're really abundant. Beautiful, beautiful apples. I'm walking through this jungle right now that basically comes up to my chest. But that's okay. You can't do everything. And I actually like the more unkempt look. Let me get on my rant about lawns actually, because you know, so many people complain about lawns, having to mow their lawn and spending their free time to mow their lawn. And so my thing is like, why? What's up with the lawns? Like, why do people have lawns? They just seem such a waste of time and energy, you know, that mower with all that gas. So I strongly recommend, if you have a yard, you know, I get it that you want a little bit of open space with grass. That's really nice. But to have this huge space that you need to go out with your lawnmower every free moment that you have, you know, why not plant some shrubs, some trees, you know, some perennials, flowers, where you don't have to do anything. You just plant them. You know, maybe you need to irrigate once in a while when there's a drought, but in general, you're not going to have to do much for them. And they're beautiful. You know, they'll be flowering and giving you shade, the trees and the bushes. So I strongly encourage you to, you know, if you have a lawn and you're sick of taking care of it, look into perennials, you know, look into some trees and shrubs. There's so much information out there, you know, and think about all the benefits you'll get. You know, you'll get shade from the trees, you'll get beauty, and you can still have a little bit of open patch of grass too if you want. You'll cut down on gas usage, you'll have more free time. So, I don't know, that's my little rant on lawns. Oh, look how beautiful. All these wild things coming up. And look at this sunflower. So beautiful. First one to open. Alright, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Oh, enjoy this. Look at this blue sky. Alright, we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you soon.